of central tendency. That is a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the central position of each set of data.
Okay, now I'm going to explain the continuous variable and the discrete variable. The continuous variable has an infinite numbers in the variable, and the discrete variable have a limited numbers.
So now I'm going to explain the absolute frequency. For example, if we want to realize like a statistical study, for example, how many kids are in second grade, we have to count how many kids are in second grade in order to have the information to in a future realize more statistical analysis. And there is the relative frequency. That is when you use like the percentages. For example, if you want to know how much or how percentage of water are inside one liquid, for example.
Now I'm going to explain the mathematical concept of variable. A variable is a symbol in the alphabetic language, and it represents a quality of any mathematical theory. Now, in the real life, without the variables, the mathematics doesn't work. For example, this dog without water doesn't live. This is relative with the variable and the mathematics.
Now I'm going to show to you this table. In this part, if you can see, there are two letters, but that are considered the intervals. The function of it is to determine the minimum and the maximum number of the information that we recollected. So now there is the JE. The JE, if we can see, we cannot see, but for example, I'm going to explain to you in a good way. So there are 3 and 10. So we make as the sum, the addition. So 3 plus 10 is 13, and if we divide 13 in 2, we have this result, 6.5. Yeah. So in all of each part we have to do the same thing, make the addition, and finally have the result of this part of the table. This part is the most easiest because it's the times that this is the time that, for example, one number are contained in times 3 to 10. For example, if we have, for example, I don't know, 5 kids with 10 years, and so 5 can enter in this way. So we can say that in this part we can put 5, because there are 5 numbers that are signs 3 to 10. The NE with majus, it represents the same thing. That, for example, if we are 6, 7, so he is 5, 5 plus 6, 11, 11 plus 7, 18, and the same way to finalize with this number, with 30. HE, it represents the percentage. For example, if we have for example, I don't know, the 1% here is because there is supposed to be 3, because the 1% of 30 is 3. And there is the same function that is, because it is the frequency of, this is the absolute frequency, and there is the accumulate. We accumulate all the results that we have. What is the best way to find the median in a simple exercise of statistics? For example, in this paper sheet, there are 10 numbers. The information about people, that the question principal was how much shoes people have in their houses. There are the numbers. So I organize it in order, 10, 11, and in this way progressive. So now, how to find the median of that exercise? For example, this 10 with this go out. This with this go out. This and this go out. And finally, this is the median of the shoes that people use normally in, for example, New York, Bogota, who knows. I'm going to explain a better way, or a different form to determine the mode. For example, I requested to 16 people about how much brother that they have. So I take in this paper the information. For example, this is the information of the people that I requested. So, for example, the mode in the mathematical concept is the type or the number of information that appears most frequently in a request. So, we know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, we can determine that 1 are in 9 times. 2, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 is in 10 times. The same with 3, for example, 3, 2 times, and in the same way. So we can determine that the 1 are repeated 9 times. So for that reason, 1 is the mode of the request that I realize in my neighborhood.
Okay, now to conclude, the table that we see before in the video, it's the basic or the minimal structure to understand all the economic organization. Okay, thank you for your attention.